This is the Gentain pond. You'll see from, if you look real hard, you can see the beaver home in the middle, right there. And here are the bullfrogs. I don't know if it's the nastiest water source I've used, but it's close to it. But today we've got a big day. So let's get her done. It's not even a named hill, but coming out of the Gentain pond shelter, coming up that first climb just feels like a lot because it's the first thing in the morning. But now our bodies are warmed up and we're ready to move up to Mount Success. So we drop down a little bit and then we'll go up to Mount Success. We had a good night sleep last night, even though it rained. Yesterday, as we were approaching the shelter, I snapped the second pole in 30 miles. And of course I had bent the other pole. Those were Leckies. The one I snapped last night was actually a Cascade Mountain Tech, one of the collapsible types of, or their version of a collapsible pole, but it didn't really matter. It snapped right in the middle of a shaft at the carbon fiber. And how it happened was a particularly steep rock that was just slick as glass. I put my poles at the bottom of the rock to stop my acceleration down that as I slipped. And of course, once I hit the bottom, I did land on my feet, but the pole was now stuck in the ground and there was another rock in front of me and the momentum just pushed it forward, snap. This morning, since it was a pretty steep ascent, I was happy just to have the one pole because the other hand was free to grab a hold of trees or rocks or other things to help pull me up to the next ledge. So maybe for today, which I sort of dreaded with one pole, maybe it'll be not a bad thing that I don't have the second one. So today is going to be a memorable day because in just 4 miles from where we started, we cross out of New Hampshire and into Maine. That, of course, is a huge milestone. Will be our last state. And then at the end of the day, we'll go through the Mahoosuc Notch. And we're looking to stay at the shelter just beyond the Mahoosuc Notch, which actually is only like maybe a 12 to 13 mile day. We did 12 yesterday. We were completely exhausted. And doing the notch at the end of the day is no fun. And then we have a big uphill after the notch, which we'll start tomorrow. We're coming upon the last couple miles here in New Hampshire. And you can see that she's going to be a bitch to the end. There she comes. Stopped and put her pack up her sleeves. She would wait until she got up here because we had to stop anyway. stopped to put your pack cover on.
Huh?
You stopped to put your pack cover on.
Yeah, I was just getting too wet.
Yeah. Sheep dipped by New Hampshire. So is the trail in New Hampshire what you thought it would be?
No, this is not anything I thought it would be. I wanted Shenandoah.
Yeah.
That's it. Last state.
There you go. Right there. The last state. Well, that's a pretty view to start Maine with. Oh my God. This is no weather to do Maine in.
I think I'm going to the right.
I think it's a
More
good,
trees to hold on to.
good call, I think. Maine, baby, the way life ought to be. Okay, so this is the beginning of the Mahoosuc Notch. The infamous Mahoosuc Notch. You ready?
Infamous. I am born ready.
Right. Spec Pond campsite, that's where we're shooting for right now. Only 3.7 miles. I mean, 3.7 miles. What?
We have no view.
Which is unusual for us. You know that we've had,
So many good views.
yeah, so many good views.
So many.
So Maine just doesn't love us the way it should. It started us with a nor'easter, beat us to death. Now gives us no views before we hit the so-called hardest mile of the AT.
But what about the saying, in like a lion, out like a lamb?
Yes. Right. I guess the only view that theoretically matters is Katahdin, but I'm thinking to shoot for a completely cloudy day when A, nobody's up there, and B, that would be more reflective of my hike. So it's nice to start the Mahoosuc Notch with good, dry conditions, knowing that those rocks are there to be grippy. Look at that mess. The worst part about that are the mosquitoes that have bred there over the last 48 hours. Okay, this is what the notch looks like. You can see. This is where I think people take their packs off trying to slip through this crevice here in the rocks. How's it going, sweetie pie?
It's a brutal.
It's not bad.
It's like
It's the most fun we've had.
playing on the playground again.
Exactly. Okay, so here we go.
One step at a time. Try not to flash in my shorts. Grab this clothes. Oh my goodness.
All right, we were able to do it without taking our packs off. That
Readjust that.
big rock
Gotta go under.
going underneath there. You just have to crab walk through. I think this is the trail.
I think so.
I think it goes this way. The footprints go this way.
Is it up or down?
I think it's up. Yeah. You know, do you see any? Looks like there's a bunch of.
I see some footprints here.
Yeah, I see them
down
here
there.
too. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I see them up here too. Well, let me grab gut hook and figure it out. Thanks, AMC. You guys are the heat bomb. Once again, you fucking idiots.
Oh my goodness. Whew. This is amazing. Not fun. Yes, sort of.
Okay, I believe.
Up or down?
Well,
Looks like
I
feet
think.
marker down.
Yeah, it looks like everybody goes down through, but that is again a tight fit, so we'll be on our bellies.
Okay.
All right. So we were just saying that the only thing that could make this, the Mahoosuc Notch,
More hellish.
more hellish than as wet as it was active rain. 30 seconds later, boom.
Is this so fun?
Is this what we actually have to walk through?
I think so.
Yeah, so now we actually have to walk through this. It's supposedly waist deep. We've been told about it by snowboarders. This is the AT, by the way. This is actually the AT, the trail. Okay, we're on our way. All right, we actually did the Mahoosuc Notch.
It was tough. Good job. I'm mentally spent. Mentally exhausted.
And of course, it's teeming pouring rain. We found a spot where we're under some cover, but
Crazy.
that's the first of the milestones. And now we have a god-awful climb. So we'll have to have a real conversation about what we do next. We hear Speck Pond is completely flooded out. So that's not an option for a shelter. So I don't even know what the next one was.
I'd tell you.
I think
my
the
bag's
road.
done.
I actually think Main Road.
26.
Yeah. So that water, just so you know, that water was so deep it was into her bag, which of course has her phone in it. There's our map. Look at the map. Look how beautiful it is. Look at that map. That's how deep that water was. And it was probably about 100 yards. Cold? My God, man, shrivel your pod. Okay, let's walk because we're getting cold. All right, so anyway, that's where we're at. We did the Mahoosuc Notch in typical fashion in the worst weather we could possibly find. Another nor'easter. So this has been an epic journey. So here is our stealth campsite. The AT is up that hill, which is part of the Mahoosuc arm. You can see this has been used as a campsite probably when the weather's actually good. The stream that we're near of course, it is a consideration about the stream overflowing its banks, but when we look and see where that might have happened previously and how often it happened, it doesn't seem like this stream is really prone to that. And you may not be able to tell, but it's actually higher ground upstream from our tent. So if it did overflow, it would probably overflow down in this area, going down until it wouldn't come anywhere near our tent, which is uphill, up a grade. that is a people path, but there are animal paths back in that area. So, you know, it is possible that we'd have a moose or a bear or something come through here in the evening. Okay, so now you've seen the camp. Obviously not going to have a campfire. We're just going to, Random has already gone inside. She's dried herself off, changed into her night clothes, wiped down the tent. Now I will go and do the same, and we will then cook dinner.
Don't look
All right, we're back.
Oh, Tom wanted food review. So tonight, Tom, we're having freeze-dried chili mac.
Freeze-dried chili mac.
It is quite delicious. I highly recommend it. When you're sitting at home in your backyard, you can go ahead and just
Right.
heat up some water on your
Right.
stove where it's convenient. That's it.
So this is
Camp. Except
camp again.
this is Stinky Shirt today.
Yeah.
And I used a knife to clean my fingernails.
But they're clean.
And we have gummy bears for dessert.
Right.
Not everybody gets chili mac and gummy bears for dessert. Only special people.
Right. The most specialist.
And we're sitting inside our sleeping bag, inside our tent. Although you're going to have bear watch tonight and possum watch. We're deep in the woods. We're stealth camping.
Night night.
Dinner time. I spent all day making it.
Right.
I slaved over the stove.
Mm-hmm.